Hey guys! Part 5 of What If Naruto Was Haunted by Obito's Ghost. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 27, Various Fights. Preliminaries start. Naruto, Sakura, and Obito walked down the street early in the morning. It had been a few days, and it was now the day of the third exam. Of course, they still had at least 12 more hours, but it was best to be at the third exam location early, considering there was Naruto on their team. The three of them made their way to Sasuke's apartment. "Oi, team!" Naruto called out, knocking on Sasuke's door loudly. "Team, shut up, dope. I'm awake." Sasuke snapped from inside his apartment. Naruto grinned. "What's the matter, team? You sound sleepy. Everyone can't be bright and cheerful first thing in the morning," Sasuke retorted. There were sounds coming from inside the apartment. "Sasuke-kun, are you ready yet?" Sakura asked. "Can I come in?" Naruto asked at the same time. "No!" Sasuke quickly blurted out. "Oh, really? I'm coming in." Naruto grinned again, opening the door. "Dope! Seriously?" Sasuke snapped in annoyance, glaring at Naruto. Naruto twitched, then fell to the floor, shaking with laughter. Obito was right next to him in laughter. Sasuke was wearing simple blue pajamas. That wasn't a problem. No, the problem was the fact he was wearing something similar to a Santa hat. He threw off his Santa hat in embarrassment. "My heating system's broken and I didn't have anything to keep warm. I wouldn't ever wear it otherwise." "Yup. I'm sure." Obito snickered. "Are you sure that it isn't a hidden desire of yours?" Naruto asked, still laughing. "To be Santa Claus? Don't insult Sasuke-kun!" Sakura cried, hiding Naruto on the head. "I was just saying a fact." Naruto muttered. "Shut up, dope." Sasuke retorted, empathizing the up. "Wait until I change." Sure. Naruto grinned and sat down on a chair. He looked around. The apartment was reasonably large. From what Naruto could see, there was one bathroom, a living room, a kitchen/dining room, and a bedroom. It was bigger than Naruto's, at least. Well, Naruto was the Kyuubi brat and Sasuke was the Uchiha heir. To Naruto's surprise, the apartment was rather clean. It was nearly spotless in fact, other than the Santa hat on the floor. The walls were painted a neutral light blue, and there wasn't too much furniture. "He has a better apartment than you," Obito commented. "Cleaner too." "Hey! Who cares about cleanliness?" Naruto complained. "Still, why do I have to pick Sasuke up? It took forever to find his apartment, as well. I had to henge to even get into the building. Kakashi told you to, and he's your sensei," Obito pointed out. "Anyways, the third exam starts today. Aren't you excited?" "Yup. I had tons of cup ramen for breakfast." Naruto grinned. "I didn't even have breakfast." Sakura sighed. Sasuke walked into the living room that Naruto and Sakura were sitting in. "You had cup ramen for breakfast?" "Yeah." "Why?" Naruto asked. Sasuke sighed. "Ghost. HM?" Obito narrowed his eyes. "Obito-san," Sasuke said grudgingly. "Shouldn't you make sure Naruto gets proper nutrition? Ramen has nutrition." Naruto objected. "Well, technically I can advise him, but I can't actually do anything, so..." Obito sighed. "Naruto's really obsessed with his ramen." "I am not." Naruto objected again. Sasuke glanced at the clock that was in the room. "We still have another 5 hours at least, you realize? I got him up quickly because we couldn't be late." Obito explained. "Okay then." Sasuke sighed. "I still haven't had breakfast. You can have some of it as well, once I make it." "You too, Sakura. What sort of breakfast? For that matter, you can cook, team?" Naruto blinked in surprise. "Scrambled egg. Rice. Nori. And yes, I can cook. If you're living by yourself, it's necessary," Sasuke pointed out. "I survive on cup ramen and fresh fruits and vegetables," Naruto informed Sasuke. Sasuke rolled his eyes. "Dope. I'll make something for you to eat." "I don't need it," Naruto said stubbornly. "Whatever you say." Sasuke turned around and walked into the kitchen. "Just accept his generosity," Obito advised. "It's a good chance for you to actually eat a meal other than ramen." "Ramen's all I need," Naruto retorted. Obito sighed and shook his head. "Here." Sasuke placed down a plate of food in front of Naruto and Sakura. "It's ready." Naruto drooled slightly, then rubbed it off and frowned. "I don't need it," Sakura looked at the plate in surprise. She placed her hands together. As expected of Sasuke-kun. You're good at everything. Sasuke shrugged and placed down his own plate across from Naruto. He started eating. Naruto stared at the steaming plate of food in front of him. Sakura looked at her plate as well. She started to eat it hesitantly at first, then faster. This is really good. Naruto looked at the plate again and picked up a pair of chopsticks. He started eating. This is actually good. Not as good as ramen, but how is it? Sasuke asked with a raised eyebrow. Naruto scowled. It's not that good. But it'll be a waste to leave it. He continued on eating it. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Whatever. Obito sighed in annoyance. I'm a ghost, so I can't eat. This is so annoying. It looks actually good. He glanced at the clock. Still hours left. I guess there's nothing to worry about. Kakashi waved absent-mindedly at Asuma and Kurenai. He was reading his book as usual. The three of them were sitting above the area which was to be used for the third exam. The exam wasn't going to start for at least 5 hours, but the sensei had to arrive 6 hours before it starts. Needless to say, Kakashi was late. Kakashi, I can never understand how you can read that porn. Asuma shook his head with a smile. Kurenai froze. Porn? Kakashi sat down next to Asuma. It's interesting. Kurenai's red eyes flashed. Are you reading that in front of your students? Kakashi I smiled nervously. Maybe? How can you do that? Kurenai exclaimed. Kakashi placed his book into his pocket. I don't show them the insides. Minato-sensei would turn in his grave and Kushina-sama would beat me up even while being a ghost. Hey, if Obito can come back, why not Kushina-sama? So? Kakashi I smiled. Have you two gotten together yet? He slyly took out his book again. The two of them remind me of the characters in my book. What are you talking about? Asuma asked nervously. Yes. Don't be silly, Kakashi-san. Kurenai said, her red eyes matching her face. If you say so. Kakashi stated absent-mindedly, flipping a page in his book. Team 7 sighed in unison. They were sitting in front of the arena for the third exam. When's the second exam going to end? Naruto exclaimed in annoyance. It's been hours. This is so boring. Now you know our feelings. Sakura sighed again. Are you going to not be late from now on, then? Of course not. I can't help it. Naruto objected, crossing his arms. It's not my fault. I blame Obito. He's the root of everything. What's that supposed to mean? Obito complained. Kakashi-sensei started to arrive at places late because of you, right? Naruto said, raising an eyebrow. Right. He did that by himself. Obito denied. He crossed his arms and nodded. The three genin unconsciously let out some killing intent. Obito backed away, laughing nervously. Hey, you're just a little restless because you've been waiting for so long. I'll be going now. He flipped around and walked away to the door. For some strange reason, that was when the Sand Genin decided to make their appearance. Temari and Kankuro were walking nervously behind Gaara. In fact, you could say that they seemed to be walking on glass. They had a fan and a puppet on their back, respectively. Gaara, on the other hand, was wearing his bean-like gourd on his back as usual. He had a cold look in his eye that told anyone and everyone to stay away from him. That is, anyone and everyone except for Naruto, of course. Hi. You're Gaara, right? Naruto stood up and grinned at Gaara. He was desperate to grab at any chance of escape from this Montoni. Gaara turned his gaze towards Naruto. Usually, any glance at Gaara's cold and somehow frightening expression made anybody back away. Naruto simply continued on walking up to Gaara and continued on grinning. You passed the second exam too? Temari and Kankuro paled in unison. Was this blondie an idiot? While deaths and killing were permitted in the second exam, technically the second exam was over for the Sand Genin and Team 7. So, if Gaara killed Naruto in a spout of insanity, the Sand Genin would get disqualified, and that would mess up the Sand Sound invasion plan. Kankuro grabbed Naruto and pushed him back. Gaara, I think we should go sit down on those chairs, Temari said with a nervous smile. Sand came up from the ground slightly, but it came down again. Gaara muttered something, then walked up to the chair and sat on it. Temari sat a couple of chairs away from Gaara. Meanwhile, Kankuro glared at Naruto in annoyance. Are you an idiot? Yes, Sasuke answered. Team, Naruto muttered. Then he turned to Kankuro. What's the matter with talking with Gaara? In case you forgot, we're enemies, Kankuro retorted. You shouldn't talk to us like friends. Kankuro flipped around and headed towards his team. Team 7 looked around the room. During the next couple of hours, the remaining teams had made their way to the arena. The arena was opened after the sandame got there, and everyone walked into the arena. At the end of the time limit, there was a total of 7 teams. Team 7, Team 10, Chuji, Shikamaru, Ino, Team 8, Hinata, Kiba, and Shino, the Sand Genin, Team Guy, Lee Niji, and Tenten, Kabuto's team, and an unknown Rain team. There was a total of 21 genin. In front of the 7 lined-up teams, their respective jonin sensei, and the examiners stood. The sandame was there as well, along with the chunin who had brought the genin to the 3rd exam. There was much muttering among both the genin and the sensei. Anko looked around in annoyance. "Shut up! Sandame-sama is going to explain the 3rd exam now." The muttering still didn't stop. Anko twitched and took out a kunai. "Now what was it that Blondie Genin said a few days ago? Crazy examiner lady? Ah, yes, that was right. If you don't want to anger the crazy examiner lady, shut up." Finally, the muttering stopped. "Thank you, Anko." The sandame smiled. "Now, I'm sure that most of you are still tired from the 2nd exam. But before we start the 3rd exam, there is something you must know." Naruto groaned. "Just hurry and start the exam. We've been waiting for hours." "Seriously, this is one thing I should have been a little later to. It has to do with the true reason for the chunin exams," the sandame said. "It's not to promote friendship between allied countries. To raise the level of ninja. To even test the abilities of ninja." The sandame looked at all of the genin in turn. "It is," he paused, trying to build suspense. All it built was annoyance, a replacement for war. The sandame finished, ignorant of the steadily mounting annoyance of the genin. He paused again there, expecting someone to burst out in confusion, namely, a certain Blondie. His expectations were not met, surprisingly. The sandame blinked in surprise but continued on his explanation. All of the allied countries were originally enemies. So, to prevent all that wasteful fighting, we created the chunin exams. Finally, Naruto decided to voice his opinion. "Then, what about becoming a chunin? It's true that the chunin exams decides who is going to become a chunin." The sandame agreed, slightly relieved that Naruto finally outburst. It wasn't like him not to. But the other side of the chunin exams is most definitely a replacement for war. It is to promote your country, for a strong country will get more requests. It is also to send a message to potential enemies, that our country is strong. But why do we have to risk our lives in battles? Ino asked in confusion. Because a ninja only lets out their true strength while in life-risking battles. There would be no point in the chunin exams if they were not life-risking. The sandame explained. One last thing before we start the 3rd exam. He paused again, yet again trying to build suspense. The annoyance of the genin reached a peak and erupted. "Just tell us already!" Kiba exclaimed. Akamaru barked. "I don't care. Just tell us what the 3rd exam is." Gaara said coldly. "We've been waiting for hours." Naruto cried. The sandame coughed in embarrassment. "This is a life-risking battle. With your country's pride and power on the line. With your dreams on the line. Try your best." Obito raised an eyebrow. "It took you that long to say that? Geez. I'm glad I got the shortened version during my exams. I mean, saying that chunin exams were a replacement for war during a war would be really stupid. Now, your examiner for the 3rd exam will now explain the rules and regulations of the next exam." The sandame stepped back. "Hate." One of the jonin standing behind the sandame stepped up. He nodded at the sandame briefly, then turned to the genin in front of him. "Hello," Hate said. He was a sick-looking ninja wearing his headband in a hat format. He seemed to be constantly coughing, and there were bags under his eyes. "My name is..." He started coughing again. "Hate Gecko." Hate continued. "Nice to meet you. I'm your examiner for the 3rd exam." He continued on coughing. Naruto's sweat dropped in slight exasperation. "Is he alright?" I'm afraid that." Hate paused to cough. "We're going to have preliminaries." "What?" "We have all tried our best to reach this exam," Lee exclaimed. "The flames of youth are blazing within us, and yet you try to extinguish them?" "Nicely said, Lee," Guy cried. "But I'm afraid that Hate is right this time." Hate did what most sane people did when faced with Guy. Ignored him. We had a bit too many people pass this time." Hate coughed. "And there are going to be many important guests. We cannot have the fights drag on and on, so according to chunin exam rules we have to have preliminaries to reduce the number of fights in the 3rd exams. But we tried so hard." Chuji exclaimed in anger. "I barely ate anything the last 5 days. Whatever." Naruto smirked, crossing his arms. So, all we have to do is pass these preliminaries, right? So, come on. What's the preliminaries? Hate coughed. Okay, first of all, if there is anyone who is not feeling well, or wishes to quit, do it now. We're going to start the preliminaries right now. There was silence for a moment, then a single voice rang out. I wish to quit. Hate looked at the person who had talked, and marked something down into his clipboard. Yakushi Kabuto, from Konoha. Okay, you can go, thank you. Kabuto waved at the remaining genin and walked away. I don't need to observe Sasuke's team anymore. After all, Orochimaru-sama's here now. Okay, then I'll explain the preliminaries now. Hate coughed again. No. Wait. I forgot to say that you'll be fighting by yourself, from now on, so if you quit it doesn't affect your teammates. There was still silence. Of course there's no way anyone will quit. Naruto whispered to his teammates. I mean, we tried this hard to get here. Plus, we still haven't fought any actual genin that was strong. I agree. Sasuke muttered. I'm not going to give up now. Sasuke-kun, Naruto, you're both alright, right? Sakura asked in worry. We've been fine for days. Naruto said with a grin. Don't worry. Just then, another voice rang out. I'm going to quit. HM? Hate coughed. Ashiroji Muto, from the rain, right? You can go. Muto nodded and left. Definitely not Chunin material. Obito thought. Hate coughed and looked around. So, just two? Okay. I'll explain the preliminaries now. The preliminaries are a bunch of one-on-one fights. The third exam will be like that as well. Anyways, open it up. There was a grinding noise as a piece of wood on the wall lifted up to reveal a screen. This electric scoreboard has your names entered into it. Hate murmured. It will randomly pick the pairings. Since there's 19 people, one person will get a bye. That's not fair. Sakura objected. That's the way it is. Hate raised an eyebrow from his sleepy-looking eyes. Would you prefer to pick names from a hat? Sakura closed her mouth. It would be funny if Sakura got the bye. Obito thought. Now, it might be a little sudden, but we'll be starting the first fight now. Hate said. He looked up at the screen. Tenten vs. Nara Shikamaru. Okay. Everyone except for those on the screen head upstairs. Hate ordered. Tenten, Shikamaru, come up here. Shikamaru scratched his head. A girl? How troublesome. Don't underestimate girls. Ino snapped, hitting Shikamaru on his head. Troublesome. Shikamaru muttered again. He walked up to Hate. Tenten walked up to Hate as well. One of the rookies, huh? This'll be easy. I can't believe all three rookie teams passed, though. Okay, are you both ready? Hate asked. Yeah. Shikamaru nodded. Tenten smirked. Sure, okay, begin. Hate jumped away and headed upstairs. Tenten promptly threw some shuriken at Shikamaru, who lazily dodged them. A girl. I don't like fighting with girls. Shikamaru complained, stepping back from Tenten. Tenten scoffed in anger. You'll be regretting those words. She threw more kunai at Shikamaru. All I'll need to beat you is my weapons. Shikamaru looked at the kunai, and his lazy look flew off his face for a moment. Explosion tags. He quickly jumped to the side, red flames licking after him. Shikamaru dusted off his pants and looked at Tenten. She seems to be a proud shinobi who thinks she's pretty strong. The best thing to do here is insult her and to make her unbalanced in her anger. All you need are your weapons? Shikamaru commented, raising an eyebrow. Are you sure it isn't the only thing I can use our weapons? Tenten growled in anger. It didn't help that Shikamaru was right. Her jutsu repertoire was sorely lacking. Shikamaru blinked. It looks like I'm right. Most shinobi would start off by throwing shuriken or kunai, but would then continue on to do some jutsu. The way she threw shuriken twice in a row suggested that she couldn't use many jutsu, and even if she could use jutsu, that insulting statement would be enough to infuriate her. If she couldn't use jutsu, the fact that I was right would infuriate her. It's a win-win situation for me. Tenten brought out a scroll and placed her hands on the seals drawn on them. Kusari Fubo, chain wind staff. Tenten called out. With a puff of smoke, a wooden staff with two chains attached to both sides appeared in her hand. She promptly threw it at Shikamaru. Shikamaru dodged it easily. Seriously, this is boring. A smirk appeared on Tenten's face. You see, the interesting thing about the Kusari Fubo is that it comes back to me. Like a boomerang. It's over, rookie. Tenten retorted. Really? Shikamaru blinked and ducked down, the Kusari Fubo whistling above his head. Oh yes. Tenten placed a kunai on Shikamaru's throat. It's over, huh? Shikamaru looked at Tenten from the corner of his eyes. You see, even if you did dodge the Kusari Fubo, I knew that you would have to divert your eyes from me for a second. Tenten smiled. I see. You used Kawarini? Shikamaru commented, looking at the place Tenten was. In her place was a kunai. Yes. Tenten nodded, her kunai still on Shikamaru's throat. There's nothing you can do. Give up. Shikamaru chuckled. Tenten glared at Shikamaru. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. Shikamaru smirked, his hands discreetly in a hand seal. Why don't you move then? What? What? Tenten tried to move in vain. What did you do to me? Kage main no jutsu, shadow binding technique, success. Shikamaru grinned. Don't tell me. You read all of my moves from the start? Tenten exclaimed in shock. Yes. Shikamaru stated. Actually, all I read was the Kusari Fubo coming back. But I was looking for a chance to get close to her. But she'll probably get more agitated if she thinks that not that it matters anymore. Shikamaru moved his arm to the side, then to the back. Tenten's hand moved away from Shikamaru's throat. Then, Shikamaru slowly turned around, so Tenten and Shikamaru were facing each other. Shikamaru slowly took steps back, widening the gap between them. Tenten took a breath. That rookie should run out of chakra sooner or later. I just have to wait for that. Shikamaru looked at Tenten lazily. If I remember correctly, you used sealing scrolls, right? He moved his hands so Tenten opened her backpack and took out her scrolls. What are you doing? Tenten demanded. Do you know what happens when a sealing scroll is destroyed? Shikamaru commented, moving his hands. Tenten slowly took out a kunai. The things in the sealing scrolls are stranded in an alternate dimension. Shikamaru smirked as he mimed placing an imaginary kunai on an imaginary scroll. No. What are you doing? Tenten was more desperate than demanding now. Give up. Shikamaru said. Unless you want all of your weapons to be destroyed. Tenten bit her lips so hard it drew blood. Some of these weapons are legendary. Not to mention expensive. I give up. Tenten muttered. Hate lifted up his hand. Winner, Nara Shikamaru. Shikamaru undid his jutsu and headed upstairs. He brushed against Tenten. It wasn't as boring as I thought. Shikamaru commented. Tenten was fuming. Wow, that was cool, Shikamaru. Naruto exclaimed. Great job. Wow, he's smart. Obito thought in surprise. Well, he's a Nara after all, they have the genius gene. But I guess I didn't get the Uchiha genius gene, so it's possible Shikamaru didn't get it. But from this match, he obviously got it. It was troublesome. Shikamaru muttered. You say that for everything. Ino exclaimed, hitting Shikamaru on the head. This is a familiar scene. Sasuke grunted. Really? Naruto said in confusion. Dobe. Sasuke muttered. Team. Naruto muttered back. Get along, you two. Sakura smiled, hitting Naruto on the head. Why just me? Naruto complained, rubbing his bump. Ahem. Hate coughed. We will now announce the next pairing. Everyone stopped their conversations and looked at the electric screen. Hyuga Hinata versus Akimichi Chuji. Would Hyuga Hinata and Akimichi Chuji make their way towards the bottom floor? Hate called, then coughed. Hinata poked her fingers together. At least I'm not fighting with Nen Arturokuen. Good luck, Chuji. Shikamaru looked at Chuji lazily. Try your best. Chuji nodded. But there was a hesitant expression on his face. Hinata was his classmate after all. You can do it, Hinata! Kiba grinned fairly. Don't give up or anything. Hinata nodded nervously. Try your best. Obito thought, punching his fist into the air. As a fellow weak person from a major clan, I don't want you to lose. Well, I'm not that weak. But you know, I hadn't activated the Sharingan, so... In that way, Hyuga are good. Any Hyuga can activate their Byakugan if they learn the proper hand seals. Would Hyuga Hinata and Akimichi Chuji make their way to the bottom floor? Hate repeated in slight annoyance. Hinata and Chuji both made their way to the bottom floor. Okay. Are both of you ready? Hate asked, coughing. Why, yes. Hinata nodded, hesitantly getting into a Juken stance. Yup. Chuji smiled. Don't worry, I'll try not to hurt you too much, Hinata. Okay then. Start. Hate called out. Baika no Jutsu. Chuji cried. Multi-size technique. With a poof of smoke, Chuji became something largely resembling a balloon. Hinata hesitantly ran up to Chuji. I can't let everybody down now. Everybody will be disappointed in me if I don't try. Byakugan, and Naruto-kun is watching. Right before Hinata reached Chuji, Chuji quickly did another technique. Nikurin Sasha, human bullet tank. Chuji's round balloon-like body started to roll swiftly towards Hinata, who was shocked into silence. Hinata! Dodge! Kiba called out urgently. Hinata's eyes widened and she tried to dodge Chuji in vain. Chuji clipped Hinata on the side, then turned around to go towards Hinata again. Hinata froze, her white eyes taking in Chuji's body. Nearly all of his Tenketsu points are protected by his body. There are a few points that can be reached, but it's too hard. How can I beat Chuji? Hinata somehow managed to dodge Chuji a second time, her side twinging with pain. Sasuke looked at Hinata. That's the quiet Hyuga girl that was in my class, correct? The one with the crush on Naruto. Naruto HM? Are you going to cheer her on? Sasuke commented. Who? Hinata? Naruto said in confusion. Well, I mean I was friends with Chuji, I guess. So wouldn't it be a little mean to Chuji if I cheered Hinata on? Plus, it's not like I know Hinata that well. She's a little bit weird too. I think she might appreciate you cheering her on. Sasuke muttered. Why? Naruto frowned. Sakura blinked. Hinata? She was one of the few girls that wasn't a fangirl of Sasuke. Besides, doesn't she have some sort of disease? Naruto pointed out. Kiba, who was listening in to the conversation, frowned. No, she doesn't. What sort of disease? She always turns red and faints. Naruto exclaimed. Ino and Sakura blinked in unison. Then they both grinned. Ah, that's cute. Ino smiled, placing her hands together. What? She does what? Kiba exclaimed in annoyance. I don't get it. Doesn't she do that with everyone? Naruto said in confusion. Sakura smiled. So cute, Naruto crossed his arms and looked at the match again. I don't get it. Obito placed his head into his hand as usual. Naruto's so oblivious to these things. Wait, what's happening? Hinata coughed up some blood, rubbing her mouth. Hinata, give up. Chuji said gently. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Hinata looked at Chuji hesitantly. She was injured in several places, nothing too serious, but still painful. The Tenketsu points that Hinata tried to aim at were constantly moving. Something like this would probably be difficult for any Hyuga to do. But if she managed to hit even one of them, the loss of chakra would automatically undo his technique. But it seemed impossible. No, wait. Hinata blinked in surprise. There was a pattern in Chuji's movements. He couldn't keep on rolling forever. He stopped sometimes. Hinata went back into her Juken stance. Chuji sighed and shouted out the name of his next technique. Nikurin Sashu, human bullet tank. He started rolling towards Hinata. She managed to dodge it. Chuji then turned around slowly and rolled back to Hinata. Then she dodged Chuji again. Chuji went out of his Nikurin Sashu for a moment to turn around again, and that was when Hinata struck. You can do it, Hinata! Hinata thought to herself as she gently hit Chuji's Tenketsu points. Naruto-kun's watching. Chuji stepped back. Drat. I let down my guard, but she didn't really hurt me at all. Anyways, let's hurry up and finish this. Wait. My Baika no Jutsu. Chuji was back to his normal size. Because of Hinata's Juken, Chuji's Tenketsu were closed. What? What happened? Chuji exclaimed. Hinata looked up at Chuji. My Jujuken closed your Tenketsu. Tenketsu? Chuji said in confusion. Tenketsu are where your chakra comes from. Hinata explained. If they're closed, you can't use Jaijutsu. Chuji's eyes widened. No way, why you can't fight anymore? Hinata said softly, resisting the urge to poke her fingers together. Chuji blinked and sighed. He scratched his head. Okay, fine. It's my loss. I give up. Winner, Hyuga Hinata. Hate called out. Naruto let go of the railing he was clutching. She won, yeah. Kiba nodded. She always was so unconfident. I hope she becomes more confident. Hinata and Chuji walked up the staircase to the genin. Oh, hi Chuji. Hinata. Naruto grinned. Good job for winning, Hinata. Hinata turned red and fainted. Naruto pointed at Hinata in surprise. See? She did it again. Everyone's sweat dropped. Chuji sighed. Don't worry about not winning, Chuji. Shikamaru said. You tried your best. Yeah, but I was beaten by Hinata. Chuji complained. Shino looked at Chuji from behind his sunglasses. Hinata is stronger than you think for. Well done, Shikamaru. You too, Chuji. Asuma walked down towards the genin, cutting off Shino. He was smoking a cigarette as usual. I'll take you out for yakiniku later. Chuji's eyes lit up. Yes. We haven't had anything good for days. The forest of death only has vegetables. Shikamaru laughed. You too, Ino. Asuma smiled. You did good for getting out of the forest of death safely, Ino smiled. It was all mostly Shikamaru and Chuji though. Seriously, if Chuji hadn't managed to defeat those waterfall nin we fought, we wouldn't have managed to pass the second exam. They had some unnatural nervousness around us though. I wonder if they ran into a Konoha team before us? Hade coughed as usual. The pairing for the third exam is going to be announced, Asuma blinked. I'll head back up to my seat then. The genin of Team 10 nodded, then looked at the electric screen along with everyone else. Temari of the Sand vs. Uzumaki Naruto. Chapter 28, Wind vs. Wind, Kakashi's Musings. Naruto grinned. Yes. I'm fighting next? Too bad it isn't against you, Sasuke. Oh well. I guess we'll probably fight in the third exam. Probably. Sasuke grunted. Kiba raised an eyebrow. Aren't you being way too confident, Dobe? Sure, the opponent is a girl, but she's from Sand, you know. She's got to be one of the best they have. Naruto smirked, clenching his fist. Finally! This is the chance I've been waiting for to show everybody my strength. Sure, Sakura-chan and Sasuke know, but I want everyone to. Well? Are you going? Sasuke asked with a smirk. Yeah, of course. Naruto started to speak, but was cut off by Sasuke pushing him of the railing. Naruto flipped around in midair and landed gently on the ground with a small puff of dirt. He glared at Sasuke. What are you doing, team? Hurry up and finish up your match. Sasuke stated with an impassive expression. Dobe, you little. Naruto clenched his fist and waved it at Sasuke. Obito clutched his mouth and shook silently with laughter. Temari stated. She looked at Naruto. Shouldn't you be watching me? The match hasn't started yet. Naruto pointed out. True. Temari amended. She grabbed her steel fan and took it out. For this idiot, all I need is my first level. Even if Gaara took interest in him, I seriously don't think he's that strong. Even if he felt like Gaara for a moment. Are both contestants ready? Hade coughed. Yup. Naruto grinned. Yes. Temari stated. Okay, start. Hade said. Temari flipped open her fan to show one purple circle. He'll probably start off by throwing shuriken or kunai at me. Naruto placed his hands into a cross seal. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Shadow clone technique. Dozens of shadow clones appeared in puffs of smoke and charged at Temari. Okay, so Kage Bunshins. Whatever, I'll just blow them away. Temari waved her fan, and the Kage Bunshins flew to the wall and dispersed. Seriously. So weak. I won't need more than 5 minutes. Temari scoffed. She waved her fan at Naruto. A gust of wind flew at Naruto. Futon, Fudate no Jutsu. Naruto cried. Wind shield technique. Naruto clenched his teeth as Temari's wind hit Naruto's wind shield. The two wind techniques fought against each other. Temari blinked in surprise. He uses wind techniques as well? But there's no way he can win against me. Wind is my natural nature, and his nature's probably something different. He is from Konoha, after all. Naruto smirked as Temari's wind dispersed. No way! How can your wind technique beat mine? Temari exclaimed in shock. I have wind nature. It should beat any normal wind technique, at least one done by another genin. Naruto grinned. I have wind nature as well. Temari's eyes widened. That's a surprise. Ah well. It doesn't matter. Her fan clicked up one level, showing 2 of her purple circles. I'll tell you something good, that was my weakest level. Her fan clicked up another level, to show all 3 of her purple circles. This is my strongest level. She waved her fan, creating another great gust of wind. Naruto blinked. Let's just dodge this one. He jumped to the side, the gust of wind whistling past Naruto. His blonde hair ruffled slightly. You dodged it? Temari blinked. Well, why should I meet it head on? Naruto placed his hands behind his head. After all, I'm not sure I could beat it with Fudate. I probably would have been able to, but better safe than sorry. I see. Temari lifted her fan up. But you won't be able to dodge this one. It's my turn, Databeo. Naruto's eyes flashed as he placed his hands into a hand seal. Futon, Date no Jutsu. Great hand press technique. A swirl of wind flew towards Temari. She quickly flipped her fan closed and blocked it with her steel fan. Futon, Kaze no Yaiba. Naruto called out. Wind sword technique. Temari turned her fan around to block the next technique. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto cried. Shadow clone technique. A bunch of shadow clones poofed into existence. Futon, Kaze no Yaiba no Jutsu. All of the Kage Bunshins cried in unison. Wind sword technique. Temari's eyes widened. There's no way I can block all of those. The only I can do is. She flipped her fan completely open and produced a giant gust of wind. All of the shadow clones along with Naruto hit the wall. The shadow clones disappeared, but the wind swords kept on going. Temari coughed up blood as cuts appeared all over her body. One of her 4 pigtails got completely cut off. She kneeled down onto the ground, breathing hard. Naruto picked himself up from the crater that appeared on the wall. He shook his head fiercely, rocks and dust falling from his hair. Blood dripped down Naruto's face. My wind swords can't be blocked by a gust of wind. Naruto smirked, rubbing off the blood on his face. A shield, maybe? But a gust of wind? My wind swords will just cut through them. Temari stood up in anger. Shut up, Blondie. Naruto did an incomplete version of Kakashi's eye smile. Why don't you give up? Oh, great. Asuma shook his head in annoyance. Another Kakashi. His name was Uzumaki Naruto, right? Wasn't he the genin that was always late? Yes. Kurenai sighed, shaking her head. My eternal rival. Guy exclaimed. How could you pass on your unyouthful talents to your student? I think your green jumpsuit is rather unyouthful. Kakashi muttered. What was that? Guy asked. HM? Did you say something? Kakashi automatically said his ignoring Guy phrase. Guy turned to the side and started crying youthful tears. My eternal rival is so cool. Next thing you know, that blonde'll be reading Kakashi's books. Asuma shook his head in exasperation. He better not. Kurenai stated, her red eyes flashing. To show a child something like that. He's more like Obito than me. Kakashi objected. Obito? Asuma frowned in confusion for a moment, until he recalled him. Oh, your dead Uchiha teammate? He wore orange goggles as well, didn't he? Uh-huh. Kakashi took out his book. Naruto's more or less one. Let's see what happens next in my book, for the 1032nd time. Kakashi! You shouldn't show favoritism to one student. Guy exclaimed youthfully, the flames of youth flaming around him. All of the sensei gave Guy a pointed look. What? Guy said in confusion. Temari glared at Naruto, blood dripping from her various injuries. I'm not going to give up. Naruto dropped the incomplete eye smile and looked at Temari coldly. Come on, give up. I said no. Temari cried. Gaara will kill me if I give up. But this blondie, he looks so indifferent now. Sort of like Gaara. There's no way you can beat me, Naruto said, leaning back on the wall. I've got tons of chakra left, but not as much as usual. I wonder why. Maybe the snake guy did something. So do I, Temari retorted. You won't give up? Naruto complained. Come on. Temari brought out her fan, wincing at her injuries. I'm going to defeat you. What? Wind ropes came up and tied Temari up. You didn't do any technique. How? A Kage Bunshin of Naruto stepped out from the shadow of a tree. His hands were in a hand seal. Kaze no Nawa no Jutsu, wind ropes technique. Ch. Temari struggled against the ropes in vain. You hit a Kage Bunshin just for this? Now will you give up? Naruto asked. Temari scowled. Give up, Temari? Gaara said coldly from upstairs. Huh? Temari blinked in shock. It's ridiculous for you to continue on struggling on when you've lost. Gaara stated. Give up. His eyes flashed with insanity. Uzumaki Naruto. I will kill you for mother, Temari scowled. She didn't want to, but if Gaara told her to, she had to. She slowly put up her hand. I give up, Hade coughed. Winner, Uzumaki Naruto. Woohoo! Naruto grinned and punched his fist into the air. I did it. I can't believe he actually managed to do it, Kiba said in shock. And he's barely hurt. The opponent needed to go to the medic needs to get her injuries looked at. Shino commented. If you compare the two injuries, Naruto has most definitely won for. How did he do it? Chuji just shook his head. It must have been a fluke. Don't underestimate Naruto, Sasuke stated, staring at the 3 chatting genin. He's stronger than you 3. The said 3 genin blinked in surprise. Why did Sasuke defend Naruto? I thought they hated each other. Naruto waved at the Konoha rookie genin. Hey! I won! If Sasuke-kun says that you're stronger than Chuji, then you must be, Ino exclaimed, placing her hands together. Besides, Chuji isn't that strong. Hey! Chuji objected in annoyance. Good job, Naruto-kun. Hinata smiled gently at Naruto, poking her fingers together. Thanks, Hinata. You're back awake? Naruto asked, walking up to Hinata. Hinata swayed and turned red. Then she fainted. Oh, she did it again. Naruto sighed in annoyance. Hade coughed. The next pairing is going to be announced. Everyone quieted down and looked up at the electric screen. Moritaka Mashiro vs Takagi Akito. Who's that? Naruto said in confusion. That's me. A black-haired genin said. He was wearing a rain headband. And me. I'm Takagi. A blonde brown-haired genin smiled. He was wearing glasses and was also wearing a rain headband. Oh, fighting between teammates? Shikamaru commented. The two genin nodded in sadness. Well, both of you try your best. Naruto grinned cheerfully. They're enemies, you know? Sasuke muttered. You shouldn't cheer them on. Well, one of them is going to win, right? Naruto pointed out, crossing his arms. Takagi and Moritaka jumped down into the arena. Kakashi looked at the two genin in the arena. No one I know. I can concentrate on my book. You have it hard, don't you, Kakashi? Asuma commented. Kakashi looked up from his book. First Obito, then your sensei, then Rin. Asuma looked up at the ceiling. Not to mention your father, I suppose. Kakashi said, flipping a page absent-mindedly. It's my own fault Rin died. I killed her, after all. Flashback start. A 3-year-old Naruto hid behind Kakashi in worry. They were in Naruto's apartment, where the ANBU had taken care of Naruto for the last year. They tried to place him in an orphanage, but after 2 years of he being pushed out at least once a week in the rain, the Sandaime decided enough was enough. Even if he was a Jinchuruki, the Sandaime wanted Naruto to have a relatively normal life. Well, if being cared for by ANBU was normal. But the key word is relatively. Sparrow. What do you think you're doing? Kakashi said coldly to the ANBU that was standing in front of him. Sparrow glared at Kakashi from behind her mask. What's wrong with what I did? While I was on break, you were assigned to take care of Naruto. Kakashi said in anger. Not hurt him, Sparrow smirked. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misheard. Kakashi clenched his fists in pure fury. It was Kakashi's mission to take care of Naruto, but even Kakashi couldn't be with Naruto 24/7, 365 days per year. So he did have some other missions, and of course breaks. That was when some other ANBU took care of Naruto. It was usually only the most dedicated ANBU, the ones that never failed a mission. For example, Cat. In this case, the Sandaime had let Sparrow take care of Naruto because he assumed she would take care of the precious son of her sensei. He was wrong, D-Dog-san. Naruto said in fright, clenching onto Kakashi's pants. Don't worry, Naruto. Kakashi rubbed Naruto's hair, smiling under his masks. Not that Naruto could tell. I won't let her hurt you anymore. He turned towards Sparrow in anger. Why? You know who Naruto is. Oh yes. Sparrow said coldly. She turned around and left the room. The murderer of Minato-sensei. Kakashi glared at Sparrow. Wait, Sparrow. You've failed in your mission. You need to report to Sandaime-sama. Sparrow just walked away. Kakashi walked in the streets in worry. Sparrow, or rather, Rin, had never been the same after Obito died. She was even worse than Kakashi. People thought that Kakashi had it bad because he gloomed at the memorial stone every day, but Rin was even worse, she just didn't show it. Inside, she was full of hate. Luckily, Minato-sensei had managed to keep Rin relatively calm and sane. When Minato-sensei died, her hate just exploded. And it exploded at Naruto, along with the hatred of all of the villagers. Kakashi sighed. I just hope she doesn't get herself executed, he muttered. He walked on, heading towards the memorial stone. But today there was someone else there as well. Rin. Hello, Rin? Kakashi stated, walking up to Rin. Rin looked up at Kakashi with bags under her eyes. Hello, Kakashi. Kakashi crouched down at the memorial stone. He decided to talk in his mind. It was embarrassing talking out loud when Rin was there, after all. Hi, Obito. Rin's getting worse. Today she was assigned to take care of Naruto, you know, Sensei's son, and she didn't even feed him for a day. Not to mention the fact she kicked him when he asked for food. Luckily, he wasn't hurt too much by the time I got here, but the fact she did it in the first place is bad. I wish you were here, Obito. I'm sure she wouldn't have gotten this way if you were. It's all guilt that she didn't treat you better. How can you do it? Rin asked. What? Kakashi blinked in confusion. Live. Protect that brat who killed Minato-sensei. Rin scowled in anger. He didn't kill Minato-sensei. Kakashi glared at Rin. He's Minato-sensei's precious son. You're being completely fooled. Rin scoffed. Kakashi got up. It's the Kyuubi festival tomorrow. Rin didn't say anything. You better not try anything in the chaos, Kakashi stated. He walked away. A rock broke through Naruto's window. Kakashi sighed. Stay here, Naruto. I'll take care of them. He shunted outside. Naruto stepped back and onto his bed. He smiled and waited patiently for Kakashi to come back. A hand whipped around and covered Naruto's mouth. MMPH, Naruto said, his voice muffled. MMPH, keep quiet, brat, unless you want to be killed. Sparrow snapped. I'm killing you anyhow. After I get away from Kakashi, they said that I should take a break, that I was being unreasonable. But Obito's dead. Minato-sensei's dead. I have to blame someone. At least for Minato-sensei's death. She picked up Naruto and shunshined away towards the memorial stone. A bit after, Kakashi came back into the apartment. Sorry, Naruto. Anyways, Kakashi froze, realizing that Naruto wasn't in the apartment. He quickly got into his ANBU mode and inspected the scene. He looked at the bed, where the blankets were scattered onto the floor. He picked up a red hair and frowned. No. Rin, there's only one place she would go. Where Obito is. Where Minato-sensei's name is carved, the memorial stone. Naruto struggled out of Rin's hands. What are you doing? Rin glared at Naruto. Finishing what Minato-sensei started, she took out a kunai. No. No! Naruto stepped back, his feet hitting the memorial stone. Rin picked Naruto up by the collar. You're going to die here, in front of Obito and Minato-sensei. Naruto's eyes widened and he fainted from the shock. He was still 3, after all, Rin muttered. Rin. Let Naruto go. Kakashi stated. Oh, hello, Kakashi. Rin looked at Kakashi. Why should I let the Kyuubi go? Kakashi looked up to the sky. I'm sorry, Rin. What? Rin said in confusion, but this is for the best. Maybe you'll go back to normal in the afterlife. Kakashi stated. He powered up a Chidori. What do you think you're doing, Kakashi? Rin exclaimed. For attacking Uzumaki Naruto, and breaking an S-class secret by mentioning the fact Naruto has Kyuubi in him. Kakashi's eyes grew cold. You must be executed. Rin's eyes widened as Kakashi's Chidori broke through her chest. Why? Kakashi looked at Rin sadly. I'm sorry, Rin. This is my fault. She fell to the ground, while blood dripped off Kakashi's hand. Kakashi looked at the memorial stone, and he wiped off the blood that was splattered with a towel he had. I'm sorry, Obito. Kakashi murmured. I'm sorry you had to see that. Hey, Obito, can you take care of her in the afterlife? Kakashi picked up Naruto, cradling him in his arms. He looked up at the night sky that was covered with stars. He would inform the Sandaime about Rin later. Someone would then collect her. She would at least be allowed a proper funeral. Kakashi started to walk away from the memorial stone. Another one. Another person that died because of me. Another one that left me. Flashback end. Don't worry about it. Kakashi smiled. Just then, Hade called out the winner of the battle. Tie. As both contestants cannot go on, they both don't go on to the third exam. Oh, it's over already? Kakashi blinked in surprise. Gaara of the Sand versus Yamanaka Ino. Ino's eyes widened. Ino. Give up. Shikamaru stated. What? Ino blinked in surprise. Gaara will kill you. Shikamaru muttered softly to Ino, looking at Gaara from the corner of his eyes. Give up. It's better to live and fight again. Gaara floated down to the bottom floor on a bed of sand. Ino, on the other hand, walked down the staircase like a normal person. Okay. Hade coughed sleepily. Are both contestants ready? Gaara nodded. Yup. Ino nodded as well. There's no way I can just give up, no matter what Shikamaru says. I'll just use Shintenshin, mind-body switch. Go! Hade cried. Shintenshin. Ino cried, instantly putting her hands into a strange hand seal. I only have one chance. Gaara noticed Ino doing some sort of jutsu on him, and sand automatically came up to protect him. That won't work. Too late for a shield. I did it. HHH. Ino fell to the ground, her eyes wide in fright. She had been forced out of Gaara's mind by some sort of monster. Yes, monster. Ino whispered in fright. She cleared her throat and spoke again, louder. Monster. Gaara looked at Ino impassively and sand started to drift up from the ground. Ino quickly put up her hand. I give up. I should have listened to Shikamaru from the start. Winner, Gaara of the Sand. Hade called out, then broke out coughing. Ino quickly fled up the staircase. I didn't sense anything human in there. Is he even human? What happened, Ino? Chuji asked in confusion. He's not human. He can't be. Some sort of monster in. Ino babbled a bunch of indecipherable sentences. Calm down, Ino, Shikamaru stated, leading Ino to a chair. Explain, why'd you give up? Naruto exclaimed. Everyone can't be like you, Naruto. Sasuke retorted, leaning back in his chair. Are you alright, Ino pig? Sakura walked up to Ino and sat next to her. She put her arm around Ino's shoulders. While it was true that they were technically no longer friends because of Sasuke, that wasn't strictly true. If one was going to explain their relationship, it would be one similar to Naruto's and Sasuke's. One where either accepts that the other is their friend. Which is why when Sakura saw Ino so frightened, so scared, she automatically came up to comfort her. The rest of the Konoha rookie genin gathered around Ino, listening in. You know what Shintenshin is, right? Ino blinked, looking around at everybody. Nope. Naruto grinned. Dope. Sasuke muttered. What do you know? Naruto demanded, flipping around to stare at Sasuke. Sasuke scratched his cheek in embarrassment. Shintenshin is a Yamanaka secret technique where the user can go into another person's mind and body. Ino explained. Once the user is in, they can control the target freely. But something must have gone wrong. Shino noted. Yes. When I got in, it wasn't like a human's mind. Ino said, her body shivering at the memory. There was just this monster, and it chased me out. Monster? Shikamaru said in interest. Naruto frowned. No way, right? Gaara, he might be a Jinchuruki. Asuma muttered. If that's the case, this is most definitely worrying. Most villages wouldn't send their precious Jinchuruki to another village. I should tell Dad about it later. Asuma-sensei. Chuji exclaimed. What are you doing here? I saw how Ino was, and I figured I'd better see how she was. Asuma explained. What do you mean by Jinchuruki? Kiba demanded in confusion. Akamaru barked. Asuma paled slightly. Oh, they heard me. Yeah, don't bring up a weird statement all of a sudden. Kiba translated Akamaru's bark. Asuma glanced at Team 7, who were exchanging pointed looks. Well, before the Sandame's law about the Kyuubi being sealed in Naruto, Jinchuruki were common knowledge. People started to not talk about it in fear that they might accidentally blab about Naruto. I guess they should know, considering there's a Jinchuruki right in their midst. A Jinchuruki has one of the 9-tailed beasts sealed within them. Like the Kyuubi? This is well known among most older ninja. There are 9 Jinchuruki in the world currently. Asuma explained. Team 7 continued to exchange pointed looks mostly at Naruto. Asuma's eyes narrowed. Naruto was a Jinchuruki. The way Team 7 was acting. Sakura, Sasuke, have you ever met a Jinchuruki? Asuma said casually, smoke drifting up from his cigarette. Sakura froze and looked at Asuma with a nervous smile. Of course not. I've never heard of it until today, Sasuke grunted. Anyways, continue on with your explanation, Asuma-sensei. Naruto cried nervously. As I was saying. Asuma looked at Team 7 suspiciously. They look like they're hiding something. I'd better tell Kakashi, and that Uchiha is annoying as usual. A Jinchuruki has a monster sealed in them. But they aren't the monster themselves, at least at the start. Asuma continued his explanation. Sakura looked at Asuma in shock. Is something going to happen to Naruto? What does that mean? You see, Jinchuruki are usually persecuted and treated like their tenant. Even though in reality it's them that's preventing the tailed beasts from destroying the world. Asuma explained. So, a weak Jinchuruki or one with a weak seal will often be very influenced by their tailed beast and eventually become something similar to a mini-tailed beast in human form. That's stupid, Kiba retorted. Then they shouldn't persecute them in the first place. I'm sure that if we had a Jinchuruki, we wouldn't do that, Chuji decided. Naruto scoffed loudly, bringing confused looks from everyone except for Asuma and the other members of Team 7. Sasuke rolled his eyes. Oh yes, sure we wouldn't, Sakura frowned. Naruto isn't the Kyuubi. And yet everybody treats him like it. What do you mean we wouldn't do that? Well, I guess we wouldn't, but the villagers do. Anyways, if Gaara is a Jinchuruki, you didn't have a chance. Asuma smiled, taking a puff on his cigarette. I'll take you all for yakiniku after the preliminaries anyhow, for trying, twice? Chuji asked hopefully. After all, this was the second time Asuma said that he would take them out for yakiniku. No. Asuma laughed. The next fight contestants are going to be announced. Hate called out, before coughing fiercely again. Everyone promptly looked at the electric screen. Aburame Shino vs. Akadiyore. Looks like it's your turn next, Shino. Try your best. Kiba grinned, patting Shino on the shoulder. I will always try my best, for it is not in my interest to sure now is cut off by someone as usual. Yoroi scoffed, looking at Shino from behind his sunglasses. Even if you try your best, there's no way you can beat me. Hurry up and get down so we can fight. He made his way down the staircase, Shino right behind him. The two sunglasses-wearing genin faced each other. Are both of you ready? Hate asked. He coughed slightly. Yes, for Shino said. Yoroi promptly cut Shino off. Yes, okay, start. Hate ordered. Yoroi promptly jumped at Shino and grabbed his arm. Blue chakra flew out of Shino and into Yoroi. What are you doing? Shino asked. My chakra absorption technique will absorb all of your chakra until you fall unconscious. Yoroi explained, smirking. I see. Shino stated. Bugs rose up from inside his body. What dash? Yoroi cried. They flew at Yoroi and bit him, draining chakra. My bugs absorbed chakra as well. Let us see who will fall unconscious first. Shino said calmly. Yoroi smirked. I see. Interesting. Bugs? Bugs? Naruto exclaimed, pointing at Shino in shock. The Aburame clan can control Kakechu that make a nest in their body. Kiba explained. As Shino was his teammate, he knew a lot about him. Not to mention the fact that the Inuzuka clan was friends with the Aburame. By giving them chakra, they can control the bugs. Okay. Naruto stared at the two stationary genin. This is so boring. Yeah. Kiba sighed. Hey team, want to do chopsticks? Naruto asked brightly. Chopsticks? Sasuke raised an eyebrow. Yeah. Naruto grinned. He took out his hands, poking out his ring fingers. Do this, Sasuke scoffed. No way. Oh, come on. It's easy. Naruto complained, grabbing Sasuke's hands and poking out the ring fingers for him. Okay, now if I hit your finger, 1 + 1 is 2, so you have to poke out another finger. Sasuke rolled his eyes and obediently poked out another finger. It was easier than arguing, so it's like math. Naruto exclaimed. You lose when your fingers are all out. Sasuke rolled his eyes and hit Naruto's finger. Let's just hurry up and end this so Naruto'll shut up. For a while there was nothing but the soft sound of hitting fingers. I lost. Naruto complained in annoyance. Sasuke scoffed, glancing at the match again. Nothing had changed. That was so easy. Seriously, you must suck at math, Naruto. Hey! It's not like everybody can be a genius like you. Naruto retorted. Kiba looked at Naruto, then back at Sasuke. Then frowned. I don't get it. How'd you two become friends? We're not friends. Naruto and Sasuke snapped in near unison. Kiba scratched his head. Well, you sure seem like you are. It's your imagination. Sasuke retorted. You're my friend. Yup, definitely. Naruto agreed. Sasuke accepted you as a rival while you were asleep. There's no way. The two of them chorused. Kiba raised an eyebrow and backed up. He poked Sakura. Doesn't that get creepy sometimes? What do you mean? Sakura blinked in confusion. The way they seemed to be on the same wavelength yet seemed to hate each other. Kiba clarified, glancing at Naruto and Sasuke again. They had started another round of chopsticks. Really? I never noticed. Sakura blinked in surprise. Kiba shook his head in exasperation. Typical Sasuke fangirl. Oblivious to everything. Akamaru barked. I agree, Akamaru. Shino fell to the ground, finally. After 1 whole hour. Winner, Akudi Yoro. Hate called out. Hey, someone treat Aburame Shino for chakra exhaustion. Naruto groaned. Finale. How many more battles are there? There's that makeup-wearing Sannin, Niji, Lee, the other Sannin, Kiba, Sasuke-kun, and I left. Sakura said. So there's another 3 battles left, since one person gets a bye. Another 3 battles? Naruto groaned again, running his hand through his hair. Oh, come on. I bet the only interesting battle will be Sasuke's. Sasuke grunted. We will now announce the next pairing. Hate called out. Everyone turned towards the electric screen, waiting for it to light up as usual. Uchiha Sasuke vs Inuzuka Kiba. Kiba looked at the screen and twitched. Oh, great. He groaned. Just great. Akamaru barked. Nicely put, Akamaru. Kiba nodded. Chapter 29. Sandame's Discrimination. Training. Sasuke sighed and got up from his chair. That mutt, huh? Naruto smirked. Hey. Sasuke. What? Sasuke asked in annoyance. Naruto flexed his fingers and pushed Sasuke straight down towards the arena. Like Naruto, he flipped around in midair and stepped on the ground lightly, with a puff of dirt. You dope! Sasuke snapped, glaring at Naruto. Naruto just waved cheerfully and leaned back in his chair. Payback team, hey! Look this way. Kiba said, crossing his arms. Oh, the mutt? Sasuke commented, raising an eyebrow. I didn't notice you were there. Kiba twitched and clenched. Okay, I just decided I'm going to beat you up, Akamaru barked. And that too! Kiba exclaimed. You know that no one can understand your dog except for you? Sasuke asked rhetorically. Are both contestants ready? Hate repeated his ever-useful match-starting phrase. HN, Sasuke grunted. Definitely. Kiba exclaimed. I'm assuming HN means yes. Hate paused to cough. Okay, start. Kiba and Akamaru glanced at each other. Okay, Akamaru. Get ready. Kiba bit into a soldier pill, handing one to Akamaru as well. They both grew red. Jijin Bunshin, man-beast clone. Kiba cried. Shikaku no Jutsu, 4 legs technique. This is Sasuke we're talking about. I have to go all out, or I won't stand a chance. Still, if he activated his Sharingan or something, I really don't have a chance. Whatever. I just have to try. Akamaru transformed into a clone of Kiba, and they both got down on 4 limbs. They growled in unison at Sasuke. Sasuke yawned. Kiba and Akamaru both twitched. Is his talent annoying people? Are you underestimating us? Kiba growled. You won't after this. Gutsuga. Fong passing Fong. The two partners started to spiral ferociously, and jumped at Sasuke with rage. Sasuke swiftly dodged the technique, flipping around to face Kiba and Akamaru again. Kiba and Akamaru got up from the huge crater that the Gutsuga had caused, glaring at Sasuke. You dodged, whatever? Kiba growled. You still can't tell who's me and who's Akamaru. Sasuke promptly kicked one of the two partners, pushing him to the wall. What does it matter? Sasuke said calmly, slowly putting his leg down. I just have to beat both of you mutts. Not to mention the fact you just gave it away by saying me instead of Kiba. Akamaru's transformation puffed out, and he fell to the ground, small scratches and bruises all over his body. Kiba growled at Sasuke. You'll regret that. If you knew who was who, why did you attack Akamaru? Hostage. Sasuke stated, rolling his eyes. He picked up Akamaru, who was too injured to struggle much. You little. Kiba couldn't continue his sentence, he was so angry. Tsuga. Sasuke stepped lightly to the side as Kiba started to spiral quickly towards Sasuke. He burrowed into the wall, and Sasuke raised an eyebrow. What was that supposed to do? Kiba brought himself out of the wall and spit out a rock. This is boring, Sasuke stated. He placed a kunai on Akamaru's throat. What are you doing? Kiba exclaimed in worry. Give up. Or I'll kill this dog. Sasuke stated simply. Akamaru barked weakly. Akamaru! Kiba cried. Well? Sasuke pushed the kunai more onto Akamaru's throat. How can you do that? Kiba asked. And you still call yourself a ninja? Of course. Sasuke stated. That's what a ninja is, deceptive and unfair. It's not like I'm Naruto. Hey! Naruto complained from above. What's that supposed to mean? Kiba looked at Sasuke. He's serious. I can't risk Akamaru getting hurt. Kiba put up his hand. Give up. Winner, Uchiha Sasuke. Hate called out. Sasuke threw Akamaru towards Kiba, and he hastily caught him. Are you alright, Akamaru? Kiba went up the staircase, gently holding Akamaru in his hands. Sasuke walked right behind him. You went too far, team! Naruto exclaimed. Poor Akamaru, we're ninja. Sasuke rolled his eyes. It's not like I killed him, though. Kiba glared at Sasuke. I won't forgive you for this. It's bad to hold grudges. Sasuke said. Naruto coughed fiercely. For some reason it sounded awfully like hypocrite. Whatever. Akamaru, are you sure you're alright? Kiba asked Akamaru worriedly. Akamaru barked, still weak. So, maybe it'll be your fight next, Sakura-chan. Naruto exclaimed. Yes. Sakura frowned. The only genin left are Lee Niji, the Sound Nin and the Sand Nin. There's no way I can win. No, don't think like that, Sakura. You can do it. Sakura clenched her fists, staring at them fiercely. That brought her some strange looks. Just try your best. That idiotic Naruto always does. You should be able to. Hate coughed, pointing up to the electric screen. Hyuga Niji versus Kankuro of the Sand. No! Lee complained, crying youthful tears. I wish to go next. Yes. I'm not next. Sakura thought, relieved. Sakura-san. Let us pray that we do not need to fight each other. Lee exclaimed, blowing a heart at Sakura. Sakura quickly dodged the heart. Yup, I'll pray. But something unexpected happened. Namely, someone saw Obito. Just for a moment. But it was enough. The medic Nin who had seen Obito fainted without a word. Obito was surprised that the medic Nin had fainted, but didn't suspect that she had seen him. He assumed it was some sort of disease or something, and then an ANBU walked past Obito. He stared straight at Obito's eyes for a whole second, then shook his head and continued forwards. By this time, even Obito was starting to suspect something. The cincher was when Kakashi walked past Obito, presumably to go to the washroom. He froze for a moment, then blinked. "Obito? Are you there?" Kakashi asked hesitantly. "Or am I just going crazy?" "I'm here," Obito answered, turning his head in confusion. "How'd you know?" Kakashi glanced around. "You might want to hide somewhere." "Why?" Obito asked. "I saw you for a second," Kakashi explained. "If I did, I bet someone else did or will." Obito scratched his head. There was this ANBU, and Medic Nin," Kakashi smiled. "Then go hide yourself." Obito muttered something under his breath, and went to hide behind a bench. Anyways, meanwhile both Kankuro and Niji were staring the other down. "Give up," Niji stated. "Fate has already confirmed your defeat." Kankuro raised an eyebrow. "It's not like you have a hotline to fate." Niji ignored Kankuro and looked up at the examiner. "Please start the match, examiner," Hade coughed. "Are both contestants ready?" "Yes," Niji stated. "Of course," Kankuro said. "Okay, start," Hade stated, then leaned back. "It's finally nearly over." Niji quickly activated his Byakugan. Then he raised an eyebrow. Kankuro raced at Niji and aimed a kick at him. Niji dodged him swiftly and aimed a soft jab at Kankuro, or rather, his puppet. He then promptly hit the actual Kankuro. The puppet that was acting as Kankuro fell to the ground with a clatter, right next to a bandage-covered Kankuro. "As Kankuro of the Sand cannot continue, the winner is Hyuga Niji," Hade called out. "Pathetic way to lose." "Huh! Huh!" Naruto frowned, looking at Niji then at the unconscious Kankuro. "What happened? What's with the makeup-wearing Sand Genin? What's with the Hinata look-alike?" "Seriously, Naruto." Sasuke rolled his eyes. "The Hinata look-alike is Hyuga Niji, a cousin of Hinata, I believe. And they have a Kekkai Genkai centered around their eyes as well." "Like the Sharingan?" Naruto asked. "The Sharingan is stronger, but the concept is the same," Sasuke said. "The Byakugan can see Tenketsu points from where we mold chakra." The Sand Genin had hid himself behind his puppet, but since the puppet doesn't have Tenketsu points, Niji promptly knocked the Sand Genin out. "Oh, I get it now!" Naruto exclaimed, clapping his hands together. "So basically the Sand Genin was an idiot?" "Yes." Sasuke nodded. "Still, you know a lot about a different Kekkai Genkai," Naruto commented, looking at Sasuke in surprise. "The Byakugan is one of the two eye-based Kekkai Genkai in Konoha," Sasuke explained. "Since I have the Sharingan, it's normal for me to know about the other." "Okay, I see." Naruto nodded, crossing his arms. "Anyways, Sakura-chan, it's your match next, right?" Yeah?" Sakura nodded nervously. "I hope I get the bye. Because I seriously have no chance beating anyone." "She might get the bye," Sasuke stated. "True," Naruto amended. Hade coughed, grabbing everybody's attention. "Would everybody regard the electric screen? Rock Lee vs. Misumi Tsurugi." "Yes," Lee cried, clenching his fist. The flames of youth burned around him. "Let us have a most youthful fight." Misumi raised an eyebrow and stepped down into the arena. Lee jumped down into the arena as well. He turned around and looked up at Sakura. He blew a kiss. "If I win this match, become my girlfriend, Sakura-san." Sakura paled and backed away. She hid behind Sasuke and Naruto. Thick brows, lame, thick brows. Lee wasn't daunted. "You will become my girlfriend eventually, Sakura-san. It doesn't make a difference," Misumi snickered. "Because you're going to lose." Lee got into a taijutsu stance. "We shall see. Let our fight be youthful." "Are both contestants ready?" Hate asked, rather unnecessarily. "Yes," Lee cried. "Yes," Misumi stated. "Okay, start," Hate ordered. Lee jumped at Misumi, his foot hitting Misumi's chest. Lee's foot sunk into Misumi's chest, and Misumi's arm snaked around Lee's leg. "What?" Lee exclaimed in shock. "And no Kaizo no Jutsu," Misumi stated, smirking sadistically. "Soft physique modification technique. You can't escape from this." Lee smiled. And he pushed his leg up fiercely. Misumi's arm snaked back into his body involuntarily, and Lee's foot hit Misumi's chin, knocking him back. Lee then promptly hit Misumi again, in the face. Misumi countered by desperately snaking his arm around Lee's leg, trying to trip him. Lee shook Misumi's leg off, and hit Misumi straight on the head, pushing him into the ground. Misumi coughed up blood and tried to get up, only to be knocked to the side by Lee again. Lee continued to bombard Misumi with attacks, and Misumi could do nothing to counter. While the soft physique modification technique was useful, it didn't exactly turn oneself into rubber or something, so when Lee continued his attacks, Misumi eventually was knocked unconscious. "Winner, Rock Lee!" Hate called out. "Yes!" Lee exclaimed, punching the air. "Sakura-san, will you become my girlfriend?" "No!" Sakura snapped. Lee looked to the ground, dejected. "Okay." Hate coughed, looking up at the electric screen. "Someone take care of Misumi." Medic Nin ran onto the arena and picked up Misumi, bringing him out of the arena. "Now." Hate coughed again. "I'm sure that you think that the preliminaries are over, but there's still one more match." Everyone frowned and looked at the electric screen. Haruno Sakura versus. Would Haruno Sakura come down to the arena? Hate asked. Sakura frowned in confusion but made her way down to the arena. "Okay. Are you ready?" Hate demanded Sakura, before coughing. Yeah? Sakura stated. She had a look of pure confusion on her face. "Okay, start," Hate said. There was a moment of silence. "Winner, Haruno Sakura." The look on Sakura's face was priceless. It was a mix of incredulity and surprise. Hate got up, bringing another bout of coughing. He started to walk down the staircase to the arena. "Can all of the winners come down?" Most of the genin were sweat dropping. "Well?" Hate blinked. The 8 contestants, Naruto, Sasuke, Neji, Lee, Shikamaru, Yoroi Gaara, and Hinata made their way to the arena. The Sandaime, who had made his way down as well, puffed on his pipe. "You 9. You've done well for passing the preliminaries," Naruto snickered. "What is it, Naruto?" Sakura asked. As they were on the same team, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto were standing next to each other. "It's just. You thought it was unfair that someone gets a bye." Naruto snickered again. "But Sakura-chan, you were the one who got the bye." Sakura flushed. "Ironic," Sasuke commented. The Sandaime coughed, trying to catch Team 7's attention. "1 Sound Nin, 1 San Nin, and 7 Konoha Nin. The genin this year are quite exceptional. There's 5 rookies. Still, what's really surprising is that all of Team 7 passed, even though Sakura got a bye. This could prove problematic. I thought only Sasuke would pass. I planned for Kakashi to teach Sasuke one-on-one. Ahem." The Sandaime cleared his throat and puffed on his pipe again. "As I mentioned, many important people will be watching this 3rd exam. You are going to be representing your country." "Uh-huh." Naruto nodded, bored. "Which is why we want the 3rd exam to be done when everyone has full reserves," the Sandaime explained. He took a puff of his pipe and looked at everybody one by one. "The 3rd exam will be 1 month from now." "What?" Naruto complained, crossing his arms. "Why? I just explained that, Naruto." The Sandaime sighed. It was a rhetorical question. Naruto muttered. "Seriously, does everyone really think I'm that much of an idiot?" "Probably. Anyways, we will figure out the match pairings right now," the Sandaime said. "Hate, bring out the hat." Hate walked up to the 9 genin and lifted up a hat. "In this hat, there are 9 numbers. These numbers will determine who you will fight." He coughed. "Okay, pick one." Hate walked up to Naruto first, letting him pick a number. He then continued on to everybody else. "What did everyone get?" Hate asked. 1. Naruto exclaimed. "Number 1, 3. Sasuke stated. "Whatever, 5. Sakura called out. "I hope I don't get Gaara." C6. Hinata said nervously. "Is it really alright for me to go to the 3rd exam?" 2. Lee cried youthfully. "I hope I fight my rival, Neji." 4. Neji said simply. "Fate has deemed it so." 9. Shikamaru muttered. "Last. Troublesome." 7. Yoro said, frowning under his mask. "I'm probably not with Sasuke." Ch. 8. Gaara stated coldly. "Okay." Hate scribbled a bunch of names on a whiteboard. He flipped it around. It showed the pairings. "First match is Uzumaki Naruto versus Rock Lee," Hate said. "The winner of that match will fight the winner of the 2nd match, which is Uchiha Sasuke versus Hyuga Neji. The 3rd match is Haruno Sakura versus Hyuga Hinata. The 4th match is Akato Yoro versus Gaara of the Sand. Since we have an odd number of people, the winner of the 4th match will fight Nara Shikamaru, then the winner of that match will fight the winner of the 3rd match. The winner of that match will go to the finals, which is against the winner of the other side of this chart. Got it?" Some people, namely Naruto, were slightly dizzy from the long explanation. Hate, meanwhile, was coughing fiercely because of the long-winded explanation. Now you may go now, the Sandaime said. Your Jonin sensei will explain where to go a month from now, and other information we didn't say. Sandaime-sama? Kakashi stood at attention in the Hokage's office. As usual, there was a huge pile of paperwork on and around the Sandaime's desk. Light filtered in through the window or, to many shinobi, the doorway. Needless to say, this was the source of many of the Sandaime's headaches. While some shinobi nicely remembered to open the window, at least once a week someone forgot to do the simple thing of opening a window, which means the window was broken every single week, and that the Sandaime had to employ the services of a craftsman to fix the window every single week. He had even made a law saying that it was against the law to break through windows, but no, they still did it. Anyways, back on topic. Kakashi stood in front of the Sandaime, for he had been called by him for some reason or other. What is it? Kakashi asked. The Sandaime took a puff of his pipe. Kakashi, please make sure you train Uchiha Sasuke during the month. Of course, Kakashi said in surprise. That's obvious. He is my student, after all. Along with Naruto and Sakura. No. The Sandaime coughed. Smoking was really bad for his health. I wish for you to train Sasuke, one-on-one. What do you mean? Kakashi exclaimed hotly. Then he coughed in embarrassment, and regained his composure. I mean, Sandaime-sama, all 3 of my students have passed the preliminaries. It would be reasonable for me to train all 3. The Chunin exams are an important event for Konoha. The Sandaime explained. If we do not show our strength, we will be regarded as weak. While both Naruto and Sakura have potential, they have no chance of becoming a Chunin. The only person who has a fighting chance of becoming a Chunin is Sasuke. It might get Hamura and Kasuke off my back. When I made Sasuke Kakashi's student, they assumed that he would teach him a bunch of jutsu and ignore the demon brat. Of course, they didn't know Naruto's heritage and his connection to Kakashi. They were very annoyed to learn that Kakashi had been teaching Naruto as well. Also, while Naruto, if he somehow manages to make his way to the finals, has the Kyuubi to protect him from the suspected Jinchuriki Gaara. At least, according to Asuma, Sasuke, who will probably manage to make it, doesn't have any protection. The Chidori might help, that is, if Kakashi teaches him that. And you think I should just leave Naruto and Sakura alone? Kakashi inquired, using all of his composure to resist crying out in anger. The Sandaime took another puff of his cigarette. They can be trained by Ebisu. I believe Ebisu is good for the basics. Sure, perhaps Sakura might need some improvement in that area, but Naruto's fine in that area, Kakashi exclaimed. He could no longer just keep quietly polite. You saw Naruto's match as well, Sandaime-sama. I did, but I still believe that Ebisu will be more than enough for Naruto and Sakura. The Sandaime answered. Actually, the Sandaime was secretly reading the first book of the Ika Ika book series. He didn't see a bit of Naruto's match. Kakashi clenched his teeth. I have nothing against teaching Sasuke, but all 3 of them are my students. I should teach all 3, I will say this again. The Sandaime sighed. He didn't like doing this, especially to Naruto, but the truth was hard. This is an order. Teach Uchiha Sasuke one-on-one during the 1-month break. You don't need to get Ebisu to teach them if you have someone else in mind, however. Kakashi bit his lip and breathed out a deep breath. Very well. I will inform this to my team. You are dismissed. The Sandaime stated. Kakashi quickly shunshined away. What? Naruto cried in shock. No way. Sandaime Gigi wouldn't do that to me, to us, Sasuke frowned. Even if I am an Uchiha, isn't that a little wrong? Yeah. Naruto's just as deserving as teaching as Sasuke-kun, Sakura exclaimed. She clenched his fist in annoyance. Even if I might not be as deserving, you all passed the preliminaries. You all deserve to be trained and taught, Kakashi stated. He sighed. But I have to obey the Sandaime. What do you think, Obito? I think it'll be fine. Get Ebisu to teach Sakura, and I'll teach Naruto, Obito stated. He grinned. It's fine, yeah. It'll be fine, Naruto repeated. Speaking of Obito, there's a problem, Kakashi said, looking straight at Naruto. What sort of problem? Naruto said in confusion. I'm starting to get seen, Obito admitted. What? Sakura screeched, ringing the eardrums of all of those present. I see, Sasuke muttered, looking slightly disorientated from the screech. I saw him as well, for a second. And you didn't say? Naruto asked incredulously. I didn't think it was important, Sasuke stated. Anyways, it should be fine, Obito said dismissively. People only see me for a second or so. There's nothing we can do, let's just leave it as it is. Naruto agreed, nodding his head. Anyways, what should we do about the training? Sakura said in worry. Let's just get Ebisu to teach you, Kakashi to teach Sasuke, and I'll teach Naruto, Obito said with a grin. It'll be fine, Kakashi scratched his head in annoyance. I guess we'll have to do that. Do-on! The young girl exclaimed, making motions with her hands. Second stage, Star Art. The Shinigami looked up from the window to the living world. He stared at the young girl with an unreadable expression on his face. What? No reaction? The young girl complained. She crossed her arms and pouted. Geez, you're worse than Aizen. Well, at least you didn't turn into a butterfly. At least not yet. The Shinigami frowned in confusion. Butterfly? He would never understand the actions of a true god. Or maybe you aren't eating enough apples. God exclaimed, whipping out a bright red apple out of seemingly nowhere. Want an apple? It comes with a free black suspicious-looking notebook, the Shinigami sighed. So the ghost has been affected by his stay in the living world. Nothing new. We already know what's going to happen. The young girl ignored the Shinigami and continued on talking. On second thought, that'll probably make you homicidal. More than you are already, I mean. Want a strawberry? It's spelt the one who protects. The Shinigami turned his face back towards the window. No thank you. Wait, nah. Let's go with apples after all. God decided. He looked at the image of Obito. He is gradually absorbing the living energy of the living world. He is gradually. Yes, I know. The young girl rolled her shockingly green eyes. No need to say it. No one's listening. Sakura looked up at Ebisu in hesitation. My name is Harino Sakura. They were in a training area close to Konoha. Trees loomed over the two of them. HM? Ebisu blinked in surprise. That I mean, your hyperactive teammate isn't with you. Sakura twitched and clenched her fist. Naruto isn't a demon, huh? What do you mean? Ebisu said, shocked. I know about Naruto, and it isn't his fault. Sakura exclaimed, looking up at Ebisu in anger. Naruto's just a kid, and my teammate. And he's stronger than me, not stronger than Sasuke-kun, but way stronger than me. He can train by himself. That's why he's not here. Sakura took a deep breath as she finished her rant. Ebisu's glasses flashed. His first impression would be that the pink-haired girl had been brainwashed by the demon brat. But after he had seen Naruto, and how he had helped the honorable grandson, he had doubts about Naruto's demon status. Even if he wasn't completely certain, Ebisu was sure that Naruto wasn't the completely evil Kyuubi that he had thought Naruto was. No. Most likely just an annoying brat. What the pink-haired girl had said just confirmed his suspicions, and if he was being brainwashed, oh well. At least he thought that he wasn't being brainwashed. Very well. Have you done the water-walking exercise? Ebisu asked. Sakura nodded. Kakashi-sensei showed me how after he got my taijutsu up to around average. Ebisu narrowed his eyes, not that Sakura noticed. Tell me, what is your jutsu repertoire? Sakura laughed hesitantly. Bunshin, Kawarimi, and Henge. Kakashi-sensei was getting me started on leaf crumbling, since my chakra nature is earth, but I haven't really gotten that far. Very well, Ebisu said. It takes forever to master your chakra nature. At least for the average person, not for Naruto, Sakura thought. And probably not for Sasuke-kun too, so I'll teach you a simple C-ranked earth technique. Ebisu explained. I happen to know a few. Let's start with Doton, Dora Kageshi. Earth style, Earth shore return. It's a technique that creates a weak wall that can block a number of techniques. Sakura nodded fiercely and looked up at Ebisu. I might not be as strong as you, Sasuke-kun, Naruto. But I can try. Kakashi stopped suddenly, causing Sasuke to nearly bump into him. They were in a rock-covered plateau relatively far away from Konoha. Kakashi didn't want anyone to watch. Okay, this is good enough, Kakashi stated. We're far enough away. What are we going to do? Sasuke asked in confusion. Kakashi brought out a pile of leaves with a grin. Leaf crumpling? Sasuke muttered in annoyance. He took one of Kakashi's leaves. So, why did we have to come all the way over here? If you master leaf crumpling, and the next step, water electrifying, I'll teach you a lightning technique. Kakashi smiled. But you have to promise one thing. What? Sasuke asked, frowning slightly as he tried to crumple the leaf in vain. That you treat your comrades preciously. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. And that you never use this technique on a comrade. Sasuke looked up from his leaf. He wore a serious expression. I wouldn't. His eyes narrowed. The only person I would want to kill is Itachi, Kakashi thought. So you wouldn't use it on your teammate? Of course not, Sasuke stated in annoyance. I am not getting the Mangenkyo. I'm different from him. Sasuke turned back to his leaf, scowling. Kakashi looked at Sasuke in interest. He denied it almost angrily. I might actually be able to teach him the Chidori. He touched the High-Tide over his Sharingan eye. If I teach Sasuke the Chidori, I suppose I could teach Naruto the Rasengan. But I don't know how to learn it, since I just copied it. Better warn Sasuke about the virtues of actually learning a technique. Maybe I could find a scroll that explains how. On second thought, that probably doesn't exist. Why did Sandaime-sama order me to teach only Sasuke? Nah, I know. It's because he's the last Uchiha. I have nothing against teaching Sasuke, but why can I not teach Naruto and Sakura as well, just because he wants me to concentrate on Sasuke's training? I'm going to spend most of my time reading my book, for God's sake. Kakashi leaned back on a rock and took out his book. Speaking of reading my book, it'll probably take a while for Sasuke to get it down. Let's just read my book. Naruto looked at Obito questionably. So, Obito, what are we going to do? They were currently in Naruto's apartment, and they were facing each other in Naruto's bedroom. Obito grinned. You're going to learn a second chakra nature. A second chakra nature? Naruto blinked. Yup. And you're going to do it by making hundreds of Kage Bunshin. Obito explained, crossing his arms. After all, when you usually train you only make 20 or so clones. Yeah, I guess. Naruto admitted, heading towards the closet. He ruffled around in the closet for a bit, then produced a slightly yellow piece of paper. Is that paper to find out your chakra nature? Obito exclaimed, floating up to Naruto. You still have it? Of course. I don't waste things. Naruto grinned. So, how do we find out my second nature? Just a sec. Let me think. Obito paused, biting his lip. Oh yeah. Channel chakra into it. Naruto shrugged and complied. The paper broke into two. Now, since you have wind, this is really easy, Obito said. Channel chakra into it again. The two half-papers grew soaked. My second nature is water? Naruto said in surprise. Seems like it. Obito commented. Not a surprise, but what would you do if you had fire or something? Naruto asked. Would you put chakra into the ashes? Yeah. Obito nodded. I've never managed to finish getting a second chakra nature though. So, what do you do for water training? Naruto asked in curiosity. I have no idea, Obito said proudly. What's so great about that? Naruto exclaimed, rolling his eyes. He got up from the bed he was sitting on. Let's go to Fujiwara's shop. Fine, fine. Obito laughed, scratching his head. Naruto opened the door to Fujiwara's book and scroll store. A bell tinkled. He had gone to the store a lot during the last 2 years. Eventually, he had stopped wearing his henge, just to see how Fujiwara would act. Surprisingly, he didn't chase him out of the store right away, he just welcomed him like anyone else. In truth, Fujiwara had already figured out who the brown-haired kid who went to his store was. After all, Naruto had told him his name. He was never a very violent person either. He didn't hold a grudge about Kyuubi. Hi, Asen. Naruto grinned. Hi, Naruto. Fujiwara smiled, looking up from the book he was reading. What are you looking for today? Scrolls on water techniques. Naruto exclaimed. Oh? Not wind? Fujiwara said in surprise. He placed down his book and beckoned for Naruto to follow him. Here we go! This should be a good scroll, it's by the same author of that wind technique scroll you have. Fujiwara explained, taking out a white scroll edged with blue. It even has a bonus section explaining how to learn the water chakra nature. Really? Perfect. Naruto grinned. He got out his wallet, Gamachan, and looked at his ryo. How much? 3,299 ryo. Fujiwara stated. Why the 99? Naruto muttered. He made his way to the cashier. Okay. 3,300 ryo, I get 1 ryo back. Fujiwara laughed and took the 3,300 ryo Naruto offered him. He gave Naruto the water technique scroll and 1 ryo. Let's see, it says that the first step is to learn how to bring water from the atmosphere and wet the leaf with only our chakra. Naruto read. Okay, that sounds difficult. Yeah. Obito nodded. Naruto continued on reading. It says it's best to do this in a place where there's lots of water vapor. Lots of water vapor. Obito commented. He looked up at the ceiling, contemplating. Do you know anywhere like that? Naruto demanded. After all, you are supposed to be teaching me, after all, air. Obito's sweat dropped, thinking fiercely. Well? Naruto asked, staring at Obito. Hot springs. Obito exclaimed suddenly. Hot springs are hot, so the water that boils away goes into the air as water vapor. Naruto blinked. I don't get it, but basically we have to go to the hot springs, right? Yeah? Obito nodded. "'Kay. Let's go." Naruto grinned and stood up. I want to start training already. Obito shook his head in mock exasperation. You know, I should have gotten Naruto to learn a second chakra nature already. I was being lazy. Oh well, anyways, let's go and An imaginary gust of wind blew through the apartment. Obito groaned and quickly ran out of the door. Same thing as usual, Chapter 30, Jiraiya appear, resemblance to Minato. Naruto glared at the leaf in his hand. This is not working. Well, water is your secondary nature. Obito commented, leaning back on a wall. He blinked in surprise as he melted into the wall for a second, then quickly coughed, and stood up. Being intangible was problematic sometimes. Yeah, I guess. Naruto muttered. Obito and Naruto were currently in the biggest hot springs, or onsen, in Konoha. More than enough room for Naruto to create around 50 clones, but this wasn't the only place in Konoha that was a hot springs. Naruto had sent clones to various hot springs around Konoha. The original Naruto was with Obito, however. Still, I can't make as many clones as usual, Naruto said in confusion. I don't know why, Obito frowned. Maybe your chakra control has gotten worse. Naruto said in confusion again. He shook his head fiercely. No way. See, I can still do water WAC. Naruto quickly jumped out of the water, spitting out liquid. He shook his head and water flew out. I can't do water walking anymore. Naruto cried mournfully. He took off his goggles and poured out water from it. No way. But what could cause that? Obito exclaimed. The two of them were interrupted from their musings by a cry from one of the Kage Bunshin close to the fence dividing the woman and man section. PRV the Kage Bunshin managed to spurt out before being dispersed by someone. Naruto blinked as he assessed the memory he got from the Kage Bunshin. There's a pervert. There was the sound of screams from the woman's side and the sound of dripping as they got out. Pervert? Obito commented. I thought everybody got out after you came. Looks like a pervert stayed. Naruto replied. He walked, bored, towards the fence and the pervert. Stupid, the pervert was currently muttering. He was a white-haired old man with his back towards Naruto. I automatically knocked that person who said pervert, but I was too late, my research. For that matter, who did I knock out? You didn't knock out anybody, Naruto said exasperated. No matter what people said about Oiroku no Jutsu, Naruto wasn't a pervert. That much. Which is why he promptly called out pervert when he saw someone peeping. You dispersed one of my Kage Bunshin. Kage Bunshin? Jiraiya turned around in annoyance. Why in the W? His voice trailed off as he took in the sight of Naruto. The goggles still clenched in his hand. His white and gray clothing. His face. His cerulean eyes. His blonde hair. If Jiraiya had been anyone other than one of the Sannin, he would have fainted on the spot. Being who he is, he managed just to freeze, shell-shocked. Minato. Naruto turned his head to the side in confusion. Hey, pervert. Jiraiya stared blankly forwards. Naruto twitched and snapped his fingers in front of Jiraiya's face. Jiraiya continued on staring blankly forwards. Naruto groaned and hit Jiraiya on the head. Jiraiya shook his head and glared at Naruto. Why'd you do that? You were frozen, Naruto stated, rolling his eyes. Ahem. Jiraiya coughed in embarrassment. There's no way this kid can be Minato. He's dead, Jiraiya. Even if that kid is the spitting image of Minato, get rid of those marks on his cheeks, lengthen his hair, and he's a young Minato. Even his clothes are similar, for God's sake. What in the world? Who are you? Jiraiya demanded. Shouldn't you tell me who you are first, pervert? Naruto retorted, crossing his arms. Jiraiya twitched. Fine. I'll tell you. I am Jiraiya, the great toad sage, the great pervert. Naruto drawled sarcastically. This guy is so annoying. Interrupting my training like that. I'm tired too. Don't be an idiot, Jiraiya exclaimed. I am a megaperv. Jiraiya flexed his fingers in front of Naruto threateningly. Whatever, Databao. Naruto said in annoyance, his catchphrase slipping into his speech. Databao? Jiraiya thought. Well, I've told you who I am, tell me who you are now. Jiraiya said. Yes, tell me, Minato clone. Naruto looked up at Jiraiya with a blinding smile that almost made Jiraiya freeze again. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. And I'm going to be Hokage someday. Jiraiya's eyes widened. Naruto. I see. His eyes softened slightly as he looked down at Naruto's determined face. Minato's kid. No wonder he's the spitting image of Minato. And yes. Databao. If I remember correctly, I think Kushina said Databane. Is that in their genetics or something? Speaking of genetics, is it possible for a son to be this much like their father? Wait a second. Naruto froze. He looked up at Jiraiya. You're Jiraiya? As in, Jiraiya of the Sannin? Jiraiya blinked in surprise. He knows? Yeah, Naruto's eyes shone as he looked up at Jiraiya. You taught the Yondaime, huh? Jiraiya thought. That's right, that is. Naruto took a deep breath and raised his voice. So cool, Jiraiya looked at Naruto in confusion. Train me! Naruto cried. No way! Do you think I want to see your face, Minato's face? Jiraiya thought in sadness, recalling Minato. Please! Naruto begged, clenching his hands together. Obito's great and all, but this is Jiraiya, that trained the Yondaime. The Yondaime! I read somewhere that he was away from Konoha. Is he here because of the Chunin exams? Or Orochimaru? Jiraiya looked at Naruto, contemplating. Then again, I am his godfather. I was supposed to take care of him, but I didn't. But it was probably better that I didn't. Still, fine then. Naruto placed his fingers into a hand seal. He's a pervert. No way he can say no after this. Oiroke no Jutsu. Ninja centerfold. Obito covered his mouth as astral blood leaked out of his nose. Jiraiya, on the other hand, fell down comically. An arc of blood flew out his nose. So? Naruto, or rather, Naruto said alluringly. I'll train you. Jiraiya exclaimed as he got up. Naruto undid his henge with a puff of smoke. Really? Yes. Jiraiya stated. Inside, he was chuckling wildly. Oh, this kid has much more potential than Minato. A little work and he'll be a wonderful pervert. Obito muffled his laughter. Jiraiya rubbed his eyes. What was that? Was that Minato's dead student? Oh. Speaking of dead people. Kushin'll kill me if I make her son into a pervert. Ah well. She can't get at me until I'm dead, and she can't kill me after I'm already dead. So, what are you doing right now? Jiraiya asked. Learning a second chakra nature water. Naruto explained. I already know wind. Wind? Just like Minato, huh? Jiraiya thought. Well, that explains the Kage Bunshin interesting training technique. But one only a Uzumaki or a Jinchuruki could use, and Naruto is both. Also, I'm trying to figure out why I can't do water walking anymore. Naruto said. He placed his goggles onto his eyes again. You can't do water walking? And you could do it before? Jiraiya inquired. He narrowed his eyes. Yeah. I could do it before the Chunin exams. Naruto complained. Don't tell me. The Sandaime mentioned Naruto running into Orochimaru. Jiraiya looked at Naruto's stomach. Naruto, lift up your shirt. Wait, what? Naruto exclaimed. I mean, he's a pervert, but he isn't a pedophile. I need to check your seal. Jiraiya said matter-of-factly. Oh. Naruto blinked. He knows about my seal? Well, he is the guy who taught the Yondaime after all. He obliged and lifted his shirt, channeling chakra so the seal appeared on his stomach. Jiraiya's eyes narrowed further. Even on odd, no wonder he's having trouble doing water walking. Orochimaru must have placed a 5-pronged seal on Naruto. Ah well. Easy to remedy. Jiraiya concentrated chakra to his fingers and poked Naruto strongly in his stomach. The black marks disappeared, leaving only the original Shiki Fuin. You should be able to do the water walking now. Jiraiya said. Naruto turned his head to the side in confusion, but stepped out onto the water. There were some ripples, but Naruto managed to stay on it. Woohoo! Naruto grinned. It worked. He jumped back to Jiraiya. So what now? Jiraiya sighed. I really want to get back to my research. Have you ever felt a different chakra in you? Jiraiya asked. Do you mean Kyuubi? Naruto said, his head turning to the side. Well, I guess he's not stupid. Jiraiya thought. Yes, yeah, it's like Kyuubi's chakra is red, when mine is blue. Naruto tried to explain. But that red chakra only comes out when I'm angry, I see. When he's emotionally stressed, the seal weakens. Jiraiya pondered. Still, most Jinchuuriki have some power over their beast. Naruto needs to learn how to do that. Easier said than done, okay. Jiraiya looked up at the steadily darkening sky. It's getting late, meet me here tomorrow. He disappeared in a puff of leaves. Let's go to a different hot springs for research. What? Naruto blinked in surprise and shrugged. Whatever. Still, I wonder why Jiraiya-sama was here. Obito commented, crossing his arms. He was definitely the real thing, though. This is so cool. Naruto grinned. Knowing Jiraiya-sama, he'll spend most of his time peeking at girls. Obito stole a glance at Naruto. But Naruto seems so excited I won't burst his bubble. Naruto yawned as he walked back towards his house. The darkening sky drew shadows on the streets. Naruto. Sakura blinked, walking up to Naruto tiredly. She had spent most of the day practicing the C-ranked earth technique Ebisu had shown her. Oh, hi Sakura-chan. How'd your training go? Naruto asked with a grin. Good. Sakura sighed. Tiring. How did your training go? I bet Naruto trained twice as hard as me, and yet he's still so cheerful and energetic. I worked on getting a second chakra nature. Naruto exclaimed, and I don't have my first yet. Sakura gloomed. Obito-san, are you there? Yup. Obito grinned. By the way, Naruto, don't you need to disperse your shadow clones? Oh yeah? Naruto closed his eyes and concentrated. Then fell to the ground. Whoa! Sakura stopped Naruto's descent to the ground with her hands. What happened? That idiot! Obito muttered. He dispersed all of his shadow clones at once. Sure, before he usually only had 20 or so clones training, so it was alright. But now there's around 150. Seriously, is Naruto alright? Sakura asked. Oh yeah? He just has slight chakra exhaustion. Obito explained. He should be alright in the morning. Can you take him to his apartment? I'm intangible, so I can't. Sakura shrugged and started to drag Naruto. She had been to Naruto's apartment once before. After all, she knew where it was. Naruto grinned as he lifted up his leaf. It was early in the morning, and he was in the hot springs where he had met Jiraiya yesterday. On the leaf that Naruto was holding, there was a huge drop of water. I did it! Naruto grinned. In one day. Well, technically it was the equivalent of around a month. Obito pointed out. Whatever. Naruto rolled his eyes. The point is that I did it. Now you have to do the next step, bringing a whole cup of water from just the air. Obito smirked. That'll be more difficult. Naruto brought out his cup and frowned. He gritted his teeth and tried in vain to fill the cup. It is hard. Naruto commented. He put his hands into a cross-hand seal. Kage-bunshin. Shadow clones puffed into existence around Naruto. Some made their way to the door and to different hot springs. After all, there was no way 150-odd clones could all fit in one hot springs. Training hard from the morning? Jiraiya commented, sitting on the fence between the men's side and the women's side. How dedicated. I've got to beat Lee. Then I've got to beat Sasuke. Naruto retorted, looking up at Jiraiya. Uh-huh. Jiraiya blinked. How does he know his opponent for the second match? For all he knows, it could be, that Hyuga kid. There's no guarantee that the Uchiha will win. So, what are we going to do? Naruto said excitedly. Follow me. Jiraiya said, jumping down lightly from the fence. Hee hee. Jiraiya chuckled, looking at the bathing woman with his binoculars. One of the women laughed as the water from the waterfall splashed onto her head. Hee hee hee. Hey! You said you were a sage, a Sennin, right? Naruto asked. Okay then. Arrow Sennin, huh? Jiraiya glared at Naruto, putting his binoculars down. What was that, brat? You're perverted, and you're a sage. You're Arrow, and you're a Sennin. Naruto said logically. So you're Arrow Sennin, Jiraiya groaned. So, what are we going to do? Naruto demanded, tapping his foot on the grass. First of all, try to call up that red chakra that we talked about yesterday. Jiraiya ordered. You mean Kyuubi's chakra? Naruto blinked in surprise. He placed his hands in a random hand seal and squeezed his eyes closed. Blue chakra swirled. Naruto shrugged. I can't. The only time I've felt it is when I'm in real danger or something. Jiraiya murmured. So what now? Naruto demanded. Well, for starters, Do water walking until you run out of chakra, Jiraiya ordered. What? Naruto complained. He crossed his arms. That'll take days. Well, at least one day, Jiraiya groaned again. Darn Uzumaki. Darn Jinchuruki. They have way too much chakra. So, what should I do? Naruto asked. For that matter, why? We're doing this because the technique I want to teach you requires way more chakra than you have. Jiraiya explained. Naruto's eyes widened. Wow, that's a lot of chakra, HM. You have wind nature, right? Jiraiya demanded, stealing a glance at the bathing women. Actually, he probably could summon a human-sized toad with only his normal chakra. He's an Uzumaki, after all. Yeah. Naruto nodded. Okay then. I'll teach you a technique, so practice it while water walking so you run out of chakra quickly. Jiraiya retorted. It's Futon, Shinkuho. Wind style, vacuum wave. That sounds cool. Naruto exclaimed. It creates a circular sharpened blast around the user, and can hit people even from relatively far away. Jiraiya explained. The hand seals are rat, snake, horse, and dog. Now, try to do it by taking a deep breath. Figure out the rest by yourself. He walked away to the bushes and started to watch the woman again. Naruto placed his hands into 4 successive hand seals. Futon Shinkuho. Wind style, vacuum wave. A weak blast of wind flew out and gradually dispersed. It made a cut into a tree. Whack! One of Naruto's feet dipped into the water he was standing on. He quickly brought his foot up and continued on standing on the water. He sighed with relief. Naruto gritted his teeth and shouted out the name of the technique again. Futon Shinkuho. Wind style, vacuum wave. Another, stronger, burst of wind soused in cutting down 3 trees around Naruto. Oh, just great. Naruto thought as his feet sunk into the water. Out of chakra already? He fell into the water. Jiraiya glanced at Naruto from his spot that gave him a perfect view of the bathing woman. He finally got rid of most of his chakra? Seriously, 3 hours? And he had at least 50 Kage Bunshin at the hot springs we met up. This is ridiculous. Still, I suppose we can start the training now, to control some part of Kyuubi's chakra. Jiraiya took another look at the bathing women, and he chuckled lecherously. Then again, we can't do anything until the brat wakes up. Plenty of time for research. Ero Sennin? Naruto blinked his eyes open. Huh, oh, you finally woke up, HM? Jiraiya commented in fake exasperation. He was actually quite happy that Naruto took so long. He managed to finish up quite a bit of research. Can we do the training now? Naruto demanded, jumping up and down. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a raised eyebrow. Rather energetic considering the fact his chakra should be at near 0. Yes. First, watch carefully. Jiraiya bit his finger, drawing blood. He did a few hand seals and pushed his hand down to the earth. Black mark shot out from under his hand, and a poof of smoke appeared. Kuchios no Jutsu. Jiraiya called out, as a toad clenching a scroll in its mouth appeared underneath Jiraiya. Whoa! Naruto stated, staring at the toad. It's a toad. Yes, it's a toad. Jiraiya rolled his eyes. The toad handed the scroll to Naruto with its tongue. Naruto took the scroll and blinked. What's this? It's a summoning contract that's been passed down for many generations. Jiraiya explained as Naruto opened the scroll. You write your name in blood, then place your fingerprints in blood under that. Naruto looked at the other names on the scroll. Gee. Everyone who signed the scroll had really bad handwriting. Jiraiya twitched. My name is on that, you have bad handwriting. Naruto stated. And the yondaime? Jiraiya retorted. I didn't know that the yondaime had bad handwriting. Naruto exclaimed. Just put your name on it already. Jiraiya groaned, massaging his forehead. Naruto shrugged and bit his finger, drawing blood. He purposefully wrote his name carefully and neatly, then placed his fingerprints under it. What now? Naruto asked. Place down the hand you signed the contract with while concentrating chakra to your hand. Jiraiya instructed. But first do the hand seals boar, dog, bird, monkey, sheep. Say that in the first place. Naruto thought. But he did the 5 hand seals, then placed his hand onto the ground. Try to use Kyuubi's chakra. Jiraiya told Naruto. Uh-huh. Naruto nodded. Kuchios no Jutsu. With a puff of smoke, a tadpole appeared. But it wasn't just any tadpole. It had 4 legs. That's a plus. You have no talent. Jiraiya decided. Hey! I'm at near 0 chakra here. Naruto objected. Besides, I can't assess the Kyuubi chakra when I'm calm. I have to be in some sort of life-threatening situation. Like falling to my death, Jiraiya narrowed his eyes. And I may have to do just that if you don't get it in time. Obito, meanwhile, was rolling on the floor laughing at Naruto's tadpole. Naruto looked at his hand and did another few hand seals. Kuchios no Jutsu. This time, the tadpole only had 2 legs, Obito sighed. The only way to assess Kyuubi's chakra is to meditate or something, probably. I mean, if you meditate and I was forced to do it once you go into some sort of inner world, after all. But it's not like Naruto's ever meditated, he's way too hyperactive. Ah well. I'll tell him at the end of the day, after we go back to his apartment. Naruto groaned and flopped onto his bed. I couldn't even summon a small toad. They were all tadpoles. You know, I have an idea. Obito stated. Meditation, what? Naruto cried, flipping around to look at Obito. That sounds boring. Yeah, but it'll probably work. Obito pointed out. Better than getting put into some sort of life-threatening situation, I guess. Naruto amended. He got up and sat at the edge of his bed. So? How do you do meditation? Okay. First, get into a cross-legged position. Obito instructed matter-of-factly. Naruto got in a cross-legged position. Now close your eyes. Obito explained. Naruto closed his eyes. Hey Obito, how do you know how to meditate? Obito looked up at the ceiling in sadness. Minato-sensei taught me, not too long before I died. Oh? Naruto said. So, what after closing eyes? Concentrate on a constant sound. Obito ordered. Like your heartbeat. Naruto tried his best to concentrate. Now clear your mind. Obito finished up. And stay like that until you enter your inner world. Naruto twitched. This is boring. Naruto complained. You didn't even last a minute. Obito retorted. Try again until you last half an hour. What? Naruto complained again. He crossed his arms and glared at Obito. But it's so boring. Do you think I think it's fun? Obito asked rhetorically. But if you want to assess Kyuubi's chakra, I'm sure this is the only way. It's not like I can meditate in the middle of a battle. Naruto pointed out. Of course not, considering you can't meditate when you're calm. Obito rolled his eyes. But if you actually manage to meet Kyuubi, you might be able to convince it to give you chakra. The great-tailed beast, give me chakra? Naruto raised an eyebrow. It's a long shot, but it's the only one you've got. Obito said. Now try meditating again. Naruto scowled and closed his eyes again. Doton, Dora Kageshi. Sakura cried, placing her hands into a hand seal. Earth style, Earth shore return. Sakura and Ebisu were in one of the many training areas around Konoha. This one was a relatively normal forest. A small wall came up from the ground. It didn't even reach Sakura's knees. Sakura sighed, poking the wall. I suck at this. True as that may be, if you master this technique, it'll be easier for you to learn others. Ebisu explained, pushing his glasses up. Sakura nodded, sweat forming on her large forehead. Doton, Dora Kageshi. Earth style, Earth shore return. The wall was slightly higher than Sakura's knees this time. Well, it's gotten slightly bigger. Sakura sighed again. Your problem is that you don't have enough chakra. Ebisu commented. Good chakra control, but bad chakra reserves. Sakura nodded and looked at Ebisu. It's best for you to practice tree climbing for the first week. Ebisu decided. To build up your chakra reserves. Sakura nodded again. This will be boring and hard. But I have to get stronger. I can't always rely on Sasuke-kun and Naruto. Sasuke glared at the stubbornly flat leaf in his hand. The leaf still refused to crinkle up. Kakashi looked up from his book for a moment. Still nothing? Sasuke scratched his cheek in embarrassment. HN, do you want a hint? Kakashi I smiled. HN, Sasuke grunted again. I'm taking that as a yes. Kakashi said. Imagine chakra slowly pouring into the leaf, then interrupt the flow to crinkle it. Sasuke blinked and closed his eyes. His chakra flew into the leaf, and this time the leaf looked slightly wavy. Looks like you've gotten slightly better. Kakashi commented. Sasuke grunted again. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Grunting so much, he's really annoyed, isn't he? Well, when we first became a team that would be normal, but after Naruto got at him he started talking slightly more. So now it's unusual. Kakashi flipped a page in his book. Ooh. Takagi's cheating on Aiko. He's getting together with Kaya, but Aiko and Takagi were never actually together, they had just held hands once. For those of you who haven't watched/read Bakuman, you should. It's really good. It's about these guys who want to write manga. Yes, manga about writing manga.